أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا علي بن Hussein. Assalamu alayka ya ashabuhu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we spoke about the rights, we spoke about that Imam Hussein is a university on its own, and that from Imam Hussein we can have infinite lessons for our life, that it can take us towards salvation. We highlighted one lesson is that Imam Hussein came to clarify and distinguish between falsehood and truthfulness. By doing so, Imam Hussein observed the rights of every living thing throughout his whole life. Thus, observing rights is one of the ways into defining who is on the right side and who is on the wrong side. For Imam Hussein even observed the rights of the enemies. He observed the rights of his companions. He observed the rights of his family members. He observed the rights of every single person to the extent that it even reached to our rights as followers, as Muslims, as people who believe in the Quran. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam is the complete manifestation of Allah's mercy, of Allah's sifats. He is the walking and talking Quran. Therefore in Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, ذَلِكَ الْكُتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. The Quran is a clear guide for those who observe piety, consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, briefly we would like to speak about the right that Imam has upon us. And this right, observing this right, is in fact taking us towards our salvation. Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, لما سئل عن معرفة الله معرفة أهل كل زمان إمامه الذي يجب عليهم طاعته. That someone asked Imam, what is it? How should we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Imam replied in saying that knowing Allah is by recognizing the Imam of your time. That every person should recognize his Imam of his time. Thus being said, every time has a leader, a divine leader. For Allah says this in the Quran. Allah says, يَوْمَ نَدْعُو كُلُّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. That every nation shall be raised with his Imam. Thus knowing our Imam of our time, knowing the 12th Imam serves as a very important and a fundamental step towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards success. Just not knowing Imam is enough. That Imam Hussein completed his hadith by saying that also it is obligatory to obey him. This obedience can be seen in the day of Ashura, can be seen in the events leading up to the day of Ashura. When Muslim ibn Aqil was sent by Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam towards Kufa, for the Kufa people has written many letters. It is said thousands of letters has written as saying that the allegiance is with Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. So Imam Hussein sends Muslim ibn Aqil. Look at this obedience. This obedience is out of the presence of Imam. He was not with Imam in traveling. He went to Kufa alone. Being there, he announced and he checked the grounds. Soon hearing that his blood is wanted, they wanted to kill him. The people started deserting Muslim ibn Aqil. After being alone, stranded, rejected by people, people did not want to invite Muslim ibn Aqil because association with Muslim ibn Aqil would get them into trouble, would get their lives at risk. But Muslim ibn Aqil all alone was devoted into obeying Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He did not leave the obedience of Imam Hussein even while being in distance, in physical distance, far from Imam Hussein. He was extremely close to the allegiance of Imam Hussein. He was in Kufa. Imam Hussein was traveling. Yet his obedience was like these two fingers. He was exactly with Imam Hussein. Although being alone, this was true obedience, devotion. He was devoted. We can see that this obedience to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, or even to our Imam of our time, serves as a fundamental pillar of servitude. This servitude is what takes us towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not just to know. Therefore in Quran, when Allah says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, after gaining Iman, automatically good and resolutionary behavior comes about. It's followed by having Iman. This recognition of Imam, true recognition of Imam, this is a right that the Imam has upon us, takes us towards salvation, takes us towards good acts, helps us to serve our exact duty in our time. The difference between Muslims and Shia is that at times Muslims choose between right and wrong, between doing the good act and doing the right act. But Shia has gone to the field and has remained in the boundaries of goodness, and their choices is between doing good, better and best, between choosing what is afzalu, what is better than anything else. They always want to make the best choices. Thus observing rights and maintaining obedience towards Imam is one way of understanding the lessons of Karbala. As we saw that on the day of Ashura, when Abu Fazil Abbas was sent by Imam to collect some water, he went against his own intellectual reasoning. He went against his own needs in obedience towards Imam. He came at the water, he could have drink a little water and gain strength and fight his way back to the camp. But instead he stayed obedient. He came and he did exactly as Imam told him, to collect water and bring it for the children of the camp. Thus we can understand that today's life is very challenging as we are in ghaibat. We are not currently having the blessed opportunity to approach our Imam, to ask of him exactly and to hear his voice. يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما. الحمد لله رب العالمين. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة عليه السلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.